Good morning, everybody. It is me, Juniper Blue Mystique. I'm coming on with an ascension message today. Ascension path guidance, okay? And I have something coming through from the divine gods and the beings for what we're going into, the energy of the ascension at this time, okay? And it kind of makes sense to what's kind of happened in my life lately, and how, it kind of represents taking our power back. But before I'll get started, I will introduce myself. I am the Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. I am the one who brought about the Ascension, okay? I'm not normal. It's taken me 3 years to do. Had a Kundalini awakening, activated pyramids, cleared Mount Shasta, all the way down to uniting the twin souls, which was, indeed, the resurrection of Christ. And it was pretty amazing. So welcome. I would encourage you to hit the like and subscribe button so that you can stick around, because I guarantee you, if you listen to these videos and follow the guidance, you are guaranteed to ascend 111. So welcome, and check out the Ascension playlist. In that one you will see everything I've talked about. I did a lot more than that too, it's pretty amazing, so I encourage you to do so. Alright, some of you have been aware on this channel it goes through ups and downs sometimes, and that deals with the journey that I am on. I'm on a twin flame journey that was very painful, did not go as planned. Due to the DM, there is a bit of an imbalance in the ascension, okay? And so that is there, and it does mess with me. However, from this moment forward, my goal is to not let anybody mess with me anymore, even if they have opinions against me or the ascension or why the DM didn't show, and so on and so forth. Okay? The videos that I do are for your information. They are knowledge to be gained and to have and to use as power. Alright? I don't know about you, but I sure feel pretty lucky to have highest guidance possible. Okay? And so that's why I do these the way that I do them. Alright? Okay, so today's message for the ascension path, they said, is own your sovereignty. And that is the energy we are going into for the ascension. Now, sovereignty, there's a couple, so I looked that up. I'm like, well, what does that mean to own your sovereignty, right? It's self-ownership, also known as sovereignty of the individual or individual sovereignty. It's the concept of property of one's own person, expressed as the moral and natural right of a person to have bodily integrity and be the exclusive controller of one's own body and life. So in the ascension, those who do watch my channel know that on Christmas is when Jesus and Mary Magdalene united. That's when I brought them together. And so that's now been a little bit, hasn't it? And so since then, we've had huge energetic shifts. And for me, it's been a little bit of processing heartache also through that, because the DM didn't show. So it's been a little rough around my end. But the energy really did shift into self-ownership, okay? It did. And it's about, the ascension path right now is about reclaiming your power and sovereignty over your own life. And here was another definition I really liked that made a lot of sense. Sovereignty is the right of a nation or group of people to be self-governing. We speak of countries such as the United States as being sovereign political powers because they are completely independent of any other political entity. Political science often refer to this as absolute sovereignty. Okay, and so that tells you what we're going into with our ascension. We are taking our ownership back. Okay, this is about taking your ownership back. And yesterday I did a video about, and I'll probably repost it, but I didn't want to act out of haste because somebody did hurt me. But I did a video about attacks, psychic attacks and things like that. And it really kind of all lines up to owning our sovereignty. So I am going to re-release that because it's very important to know. The way they would take our power is getting in your head, okay? That's what they always do. It becomes fear-based, it becomes this and that, and boy, did it really take the DM down, right? Like, seriously. And for some reason, people wanted to blame me. And so, personally, I've been owning my own sovereignty. Like, I have a right to my own life. I have a right to be heartbroken. And I also have a right to step up and say, you know what? I showed up. right? And so we have a right to take our own power back. We have a right, and that's what we're going into. So I've noticed this a little bit. Like I saw something the other day where this group of people was fighting for their rights back. Okay, so they were going against something. I don't like to watch the news, so I didn't watch into it too much. But what I did pay attention to is that they were taking their rights back. So it was like a mobile home park, and they're trying to raise all of the money, right? Like, hey, you have to pay more, you have to pay more. Or the whole entire mobile home park stood up against it, and they're actually winning. And so this is what Spirit is showing me, is that as we are willing to stand up against things, you will get your sovereignty back. Okay? And so this part of the ascension phase, and that's on an individual level. As we go into the collective soul level for the ascension, we are going into the phase of owning our sovereignty. Okay? I talked about the phase of the purge, right? We went into that, where I cleared all the shadow work. Then we went into the phase of death and rebirth and resurrection, which was the return of Christ. And now we are in the phase of owning your sovereignty. Okay? And so I would love to see what's going to happen on this one, right? And they are telling me that with the DM, it is not my fault. And they want you all to know that I did nothing wrong. The DM is having a hard time following his heart. And that is what led my DM to die, okay? My original one. And so he is getting a lot of pressure to make him step up into what's important to him. But that's basically what's going on with the collective soul. And because he is kind of causing that imbalance, his pressure is going to be ignited big time. So if you think it's going to be easy on him, you're wrong. But that's also kind of what's going on with the collective soul. It's like we're being backed into a corner a little bit with a lot of pressure until we finally own our own sovereignty. So how that's going to play out, I don't know. Right? Spirit can be so cryptic. Like when they're like, we're going into the Great Purge, and then the next thing I knew, I was actually taking out the fallen angels and removing the collective shadow, and I actually ripped a soul out of somebody's vessel. I think it was a fallen angel though. And then from there we went into death and rebirth, which was the resurrection of Christ, and I got to see what happened to them. And so each time something big comes, like it really truly does. So I'm excited about this one. This one is about owning your sovereignty. So we're going to see what the cards have to say. Hi, Angel. Hi, baby. Can you say I love you? So everybody can hear you? Say I love you. Say I love you. No. Say I love you. I wanted to talk. She usually comes and interrupts my videos. She's right here next to me. Come here, Ange. Come here. Good girl. Can you say I love you? Good girl. I'll give you a treat when I'm done, okay? I'll give you a treat when I'm done. She's like, woman, you better give it to me now. I want my bacon, she says. I love my angel. I love it when she interrupts my videos. Just right now you can't see her. Be a good girl. I'll be right there, okay? I'll get you bacon in a minute. I'll get it in a minute. She's like looking at me like, how dare you make me do a trick for nothing? She's a smart dog. I couldn't figure out how she computed love for treats. Because she'll literally come up and like blackmail you for treats. She'll give you the best lovin's and then be like, now feed me some more. And you're like, that hurts. And then I'm like, why does this dog use love for treats? And then I realized I taught her to say I love you for a treat. And I'm like, shit, I did it. I taught her that. She's just cognitively smart and took it up a notch. All right, my friends, so we are going into the zone of owning your sovereignty. Okay, owning your power. And that's kind of how it happened. It's like, you know, like with me, when people used to come at me on this journey, I would just take it and run. I would shut down and I wouldn't say anything. And Spirit actually told me when I was a little bit attacked recently to stick up for myself. And that it was absolutely okay to do so. And so I did. Okay, and that's why I did the videos about, you know, psychic attacks and things like that, because they're very real. And that is what was used to keep our channel, or not our channel, sorry, our mental capacity, our energetic capacity down. Because if they keep you at a low vibration, you don't have the power that you usually do, okay? And when we think about it, we don't need them to control us, even though there's a lot of fear around that, okay? People think that we need a leader like that, and we do not, okay? owning your sovereignty, it should be a male and female governed world, okay? King and queen. King and queen unite. That's why I can't do this alone. And so what that means, I don't know. The DM is just hurting so bad, so many people. And so when they show me, it has to be a masculine and feminine, all right? And we are so far from a masculine and feminine balance from ruling the kingdom, okay? And so we have to get to that. But right now, it's truly about owning your sovereignty. That's the phase we're going into with the ascension, okay? Think about that. What does that mean? It's on an individual and collective level. So it's going to happen to you individually, where in your life, you're going to have to be forced to own your sovereignty. So if you fucked up, own it, right? If we have to realize that we're the ones creating our reality, okay? And that's just the way it is, and that's okay. That's okay. We have to realize that they've taken our power away, and we need to take it back. We have to own our sovereignty. We have to get to a point where we are governing our own souls, all right? We are going to be governing our own souls, 11:11. So yeah, some people are going to wake up to the fact that they're going to die. You know, maybe they did take the vaccine and they're going to have a reverse awakening before it's all said and done. Because everybody will wake up. They will. They have no choice because there's going to be nothing there but in your face what's really happening eventually, okay? But we got to own our sovereignty. Okay, so we're going to see how much control others have had, and we're going to get to a point where this year, really in truth, we're going to start taking that back. Okay, we already are in a lot of ways, and that's what I was talking about, that mobile home park. People are like finally having enough. I know, tell them. People are finally having enough, and so they're standing up for themselves, okay? And that's what I did. It's like, no. Don't come at me blaming me for the DM not showing up. If you think I'm not good enough, F you. Right? Like, I'm beautiful, I'm capable, I'm a best friend. There's so much about me that's amazing. And because he can't step up into that, that has nothing to do with me. And so it upsets me when people have assumptions, and we shouldn't do that for each other. That's not owning our sovereignty, okay? We shouldn't be in fear. We need to take our power back because, okay, I can't even believe this card came up. So one of the first things that I did on the Ascension was clear out Mount Shasta. Where you going, Ange? I like it when you have a conversation with me, with my viewers. You can come hang with me. You gonna leave me and go look for trouble? Oh, she's so cute. She's a Pomsky. She is absolute 50% Pomeranian and 50% Siberian Husky. And sometimes she's totally confused on who the hell she is. She really is. But I love her so much. She's so smart. What are you doing, baby? You want to talk to the camera? You want to tell them how you feel and how pretty you are? And how much you just want to play? So we could just play. So I was thinking about that with dogs yesterday. I was like, man, dogs are pretty lucky because they don't have anybody trying to control them. They don't have to worry about all this pressure to survive. And if I don't do this, I'm not going to have food and water. And it's a lot, right? They don't really have to worry about that. Unfortunately, they are controlled too, though, by people a lot. And so it's really getting a new perspective on what control is and all that. But one of the cards that came out is relevant because one of the first things that I did on the Ascension journey, one of the many of the first things that I did was clear out Mount Shasta. I've talked about this many times before. So when back in Adam and Eve days in Atlantis, when the fallen angels came down and duped them and Eve and Adam were separated and basically Adam killed Eve, that is what happened, I died. The planet shifted so much to where the root chakra was once Fiji, and when they shifted the poles, that's how they did it to change the vibration and separate the earth a little bit and basically kill off anything of the light slowly and forever. They moved somehow, when the poles shifted, Mount Shasta became the earth's root chakra, okay? When I began this journey, one of the first trips I took energetically was to Mount Shasta. And I've talked about that. I even had somebody do a painting of that before I even did it, and I had no idea what that meant. I went to Mount Shasta, and I cleared out every soul. There was hundreds of souls trapped there. it was not filled with light. It's like they plugged it up with so much death and darkness. And so they're saying the blueprint of the earth is changing. It's shifting in a big way. In a big way, it's going to be forced to be seen by all, okay? But I cleared out all the bodies out of Mount Shasta, and I cut off life support to California. I've talked about that several times. What does that mean? Slowly, it's going to die. The layout of the land is going to shift, because I shifted back the poles, and then I angered them so much that you can't reshift them. And I took us to 7D. So nobody can commandeer this planet again, okay? But Mount Shasta is very relevant because it's a shift in blueprint, and that's what they're referring to. And owning our sovereignty is going to be the shift in the blueprint. The blueprint's already been shifted, and so now the collective soul has to adjust into that. Okay? So owning your sovereignty, and then the Mount Shasta card coming up together, is truly about shifting the blueprint of the planet. This isn't just energetically, this is physically. Hi, my baby. Oh, dude, she's like right here next to the camera. I wish you could see her. Aw, hi, my love. Can you say something? Say hi. Say hello. Say hi, my angel. Say hi. That's it? People are going to think I'm talking to myself over here. That's all I get? I don't have a treat. You're going to have to wait. So she's trying to manipulate me for a treat. She's like, come on, here's your love. Now where's my bacon? You just burped in my face. Can you say excuse me? Can you say excuse me? Say excuse me. Say excuse me. Thank you. No, you can wait. All right. So Mount Shasta speaks of the blueprint is shifting, okay? And then we have evolution. So the earth is evolving, all right? People are not just, it's not like over many lifetimes we're going to evolve. It's literally evolving in this lifetime. So the complete entire blueprint of the planet is shifting. Owning your sovereignty truly talks about the right alignment of the earth is coming into play. The right alignment of our power. We have to take our power back and become individual. Okay, so they have it to where we are completely controlled. That's at least where it was, and that's also what the V played into. Okay, you want your minions? There you go. You have your little minion tribe that are controlled by the flip of a button. Okay, and so own your sovereignty was not what I was expecting, by the way, which lets me know again that I'm okay. I didn't do anything wrong. And so I'm thankful for that, because there's a lot I've been going through since Christmas when the DM did not show up. It's been a rough ride. And so it's really good to know that I'm right where I'm supposed to be still. But evolution, Mount Shasta, okay? The blueprint is changing. We need to own our own sovereignty, and that's what we're going into in the ascension phase now. So wherever we are not in our sovereignty is going to be a focus. It's going to be like a looking glasses on it, and that's a word they wanted me to use. And we will have no choice but to own our own sovereignty. And this is in your own life too. So if you are not heart-centered in your life, the world will rearrange you. And that's kind of what they're doing to the DM. It's like lighting the fire underneath his ass. And so that's kind of what's going to happen to the whole entire collective whole. It's just going to be a shift. Okay? Big one. You don't have a choice. You don't. There's no way you can stop it. You can choose to stay to be a part of the matrix and stuff, but you won't stay here. And that's okay. Everything's a choice, right? Good on you. Enjoy your new life somewhere else. That's all I can say. I personally choose God. I personally choose the light. I personally choose my own truth. Does that mean I'm perfect? No. Nobody has to be perfect to be of God. Okay, and so I want to kind of eliminate that, because the Bible and people with judgments make you think you have to. Like, shit, if I'm at church late, I'm going to go to hell, right? Please don't believe that. God is not usually at church. He's everywhere. Actually, there's a lot of churches he can't enter. Are you aware of that? There's a lot of churches that angels and God don't enter. So take that into consideration. That's also about owning our sovereignty. being able to look into what wasn't right and what should be right. Okay? This is truly about owning our own sovereignty. So if there's a reflection where you're not owning your own sovereignty, it's going to reflect back at you. And it can cause angst and haste, and it can get you to do things that are not of the light. So be very careful with that. So in the governmental flow, there's going to be, this is a big one, okay? There's going to be a big shift in sovereignty, owning our sovereignty. It's coming forward. So everybody, something about the presidential election too. They're saying everybody thought it was done. It's not. Okay. Be of service. This is what it's supposed to be about, okay? That's why, like, dude, I'm tired. I sit here and work a crisis line, and then I do this stuff, and then my DM breaks my heart, and I'm like, God, I'm tired. And you know what they tell me? You're here to be of service. And if you look at my chart, it's humanitarian, okay? And so here's the thing. If Judgment Day was real, which I know it is, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if God's coming down, it's the wrath of God, we've got Judgment Day here, we either go here or we go there, why is there not a concept of being of service? We are so ingrained and engulfed into our own cares and worries that we forget about others, and we don't care about others. And that's what happened to me recently. It was like, it was focus of self, and that was what it was about. Like, you're affecting me, you better do this better. And it's like, excuse me, it's not me. Okay? We have to come into a mentality of being of service. And unfortunately, most people don't have that. It's give, me. All right? And so this is not just my message. Okay? If I pull a message here, this is for you guys. Okay? This is not just me. A prime example of this that I have seen many times over during my awakening is multiple people thinking I'm a healer, and they go and they get healings from others, and they awaken and they do all these things, but they're not willing to put that towards other people. You see what I'm saying? And it's a vulnerability. It is a vulnerability. And it's not about what we get back in return. Because as we own our sovereignty, as the fake world falls, we're going to be in a place where we need each other. And right now, I'm weary of having anybody come near me. So it's a problem. Okay? Become a clear channel. Become a clear channel. Be of service. Be decisive. And it's about correcting our mistakes. See how the R is backwards? It's getting that R face to the right direction. Okay? I know what my mistakes were, and it has nothing to do with the DM. The DM makes his own decisions, people. And so you're probably looking at me like, oh, she's not good enough, blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. Because that actually hurt me really bad. Okay? It is time for us to evolve. It's time for us to step up. We need to be decisive. We need to become a clear channel. We need to be of service. Because the blueprint in evolution is upon you. The blueprint is changing as we speak. And evolution is occurring now, and not just for the individual. We are not just going to slowly evolve into 7D creatures. This is literally the rapture. Okay, there is going to be a big beacon of split. Boom! And some will go, some will stay, and some will never know life this way. Okay? So it is time for us to correct those mistakes. It is time for us to be decisive. It is time to become a clear channel instead of somebody else manipulating us. Right? So when I did the shadow work video, or not the shadow work video, when I did like the psychic attacks, that's what I'm talking about. It's like this energy where we are manipulated. We are not a clear channel. We can't see the light clearly. Okay? We don't have the mentality of being of service and helping and serving God. We lost that a long time ago. It became about money, 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 fame, fortune, judgments, sex, right? A lot of makeup, a lot of prostitutes, a lot of fake boobs, a lot of fakery, a lot of blah, 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 and that's what it became about. And that's what we need to correct. We need to correct the mistakes of what really matters. And we need to be decisive in that and what we want. And it is time to be of service, and we need to become a clear channel, okay? The entire collective soul was not a clear channel. It was mucked up, it was completely muffled and controlled. And that's what the V was about. They were going to cut you even more off from source, and they succeeded with at least a quarter of the population. Okay? It's a big deal. That's through free will. I mean, there were people like me saying, don't take the V, and everybody's like, oh, you're stupid, and they took it anyway. There's nothing we can do. Okay? And now you have people going, oh shit, why did I do that? Oh, I'm not well. Oh, I don't feel well. Oh, something's wrong. And then they just completely go backwards, and you can see it. It's really sad. This is really sad. That's how I feel about it. Everybody's all like, oh, peace and love and happiness, and let's process the grief here, okay? Because in truth, we were all controlled in a very big way, and our focus got really mucked into what doesn't matter. And it's time that we become a clear channel, owning our sovereignty. That's what that truly reflects on. Owning our sovereignty. My rights, this is my vessel, my body. And I will use it to be a clear beacon of God. I will be of service for those who wish to see the light and to be of the light. And I will be decisive in my actions in doing so. And I will correct any of my mistakes that do not align with that, because the blueprint has already been rewritten. And it is now time to evolve. It is now time to evolve on an individual level and on a collective soul level. And it is time to own our sovereignty, my friends. So welcome to the next phase of your ascension in owning your sovereignty. I look forward to this one. I can't wait to see what it brings. So much love to all of you. Own your sovereignty. I'll see you next time. Please stick around. Click the like, subscribe, don't forget. And I guarantee you, if you watch the videos I do, if you pay attention to them, if you participate in them, the activation of the pyramids, all of that stuff, you will awaken, you will ascend, and you will see clearly. Okay? Become that clear channel. Own your sovereignty. So much love. See you next time.